You know, it was a COVID program. That's how it started off. The COVID program. Well, those programs are coming to an end. It's where the rubber meets the road. I think I just did a 3-minute video clip and it wasn't recording. What? Video quality is not as good when you have the camera turn around, but at least I can tell if it's recording. Where was I? Weed eaters, lawnmowers. Those foreclosures, yeah. You know, it was a COVID program. That's how it started off. The COVID program. To help people or hide what was really happening in the market, however you want to look at it. FHA, VA, forbearance programs, if you don't know what that means. Basically, you're not making your payment, bank puts it on the back end, doesn't foreclose on you. A lot of times they reduce your payment 25, 30, 40%. And the difference also goes on the back end of the loan. Basically, your loan balance just continues to go up. And apparently, FHA and VA, I'm sure Fannie Mae has some programs like it, but predominantly FHA and VA have been utilizing this program. As long as you have equity, they're certainly willing to do it because they know if they foreclose on you, they're not going to be upside down. Well, those programs are coming to an end. It's where the rubber meets the road. And values are starting to slide. So that makes the bank a little nervous when the value of your property starts to slide and yet the balance has gone up and continues to go up every month because they're giving you an artificially low payment. You know, you apply for these type of programs, you would think they'd vet you, meaning you got to at least have a job, right? Well, apparently you could request this and not even prove you have a job. And that's just insane. Insane. Basically, the COVID program has been, let's say, overused beyond COVID. You know, you're using an emergency program well beyond when it was supposed to be used in order to basically not have a flood of foreclosures into the real estate market. But in time, they will come. They will come, and when it happens, that's when you'll start to see prices slide further. The question is, what will the process be this time around? You know, ironically, I ended up becoming a realtor due to the last financial crisis in 2008 because I was a banker. And if you're a banker, well, you lost your job because the banks weren't doing too good. And the process back then, well, it could take you a year to just get a short sale approval. But when they formally start foreclosure proceedings, it normally takes like 90 days, 120 days to take the house back. But it's 2025. I mean, will there be a judge pops in, says, oh, you can't do that. And I'd like to know, when did judges get the power to rule law nationwide? They don't have that power. But, that could happen. That could happen. Anything could happen. Some of the things I never thought could happen these days. So, there are a lot of people on the sidelines want to buy real estate. But the price is too high. And the rates are too high. And while the rates may come down, and they will, particularly if we have a stock market correction, and it's coming. That's when the rates fall. But housing prices don't work like that. They just don't. It's a process. It takes time for recorded sales to get into the system. People start to sell their home for, $10,000 less. That one gets recorded. 2 or 3 months down the line, same type and size home, maybe it sells for another $5,000 less than that one. That gets recorded. A little bit more time happens, the next house gets recorded a little bit lower. It's like watching paint dry. I kid you not. It literally is like watching paint dry. In the great financial crisis of 2008, we didn't stop sliding on prices for 5 years. 5 years of home price declines. 5 years is a long time. Before we basically did an about face and the prices started to rise again. I can't imagine it's going to be much different this time. But those prices don't go down like we had all hoped that they would. It could make things very interesting, because even the lowest interest rate, mortgage rate, with an obscenely priced home, the average home price is $500,000 now. It's just a very high housing expense. And unless you're making some very good income, and particularly right now, there's a lot of employment instability, and with AI, that employment instability is gonna get way worse. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs in the future, and the bank knows this. The banks know this. So they are tightening their belts as well. They're making the ability to get approved much harder. And they will look at what you do for a living, and they will factor in how likely is this person going to get replaced by AI? They will. Because if you lose that income, you're not going to be able to make your mortgage payment. If you haven't noticed, I'm out on one of my morning walks. Do it every day. And a couple videos back, I mentioned that time and a place in life. That if I am not enjoying what I do, I'm not going to do it. That's just where I am. I mean, there are some things that, that may not be true for, I don't enjoy cleaning my house, but it does have to get done. And there's a couple other topics that are similar to that, but we won't go there. Working smart. What do you call that? Multitasking. Get my exercise. Cut a video at the same time. Why not? I am going to sit in my studio and make a video on AI and job loss. Maybe I'll do that next week. Another golf cart enthusiast. That's what you're going to call him. We have a golf cart. Take the dog out on the golf cart. He loves the golf cart. But technically, it's his golf cart, right? I'm just the driver. We go to the park. I'm walking, so my old man has got Truman at the park so that I can start earlier and not die of heat exhaustion, because it's pathetically hot. A lot of people doing some trimming. We're still in the height of hurricane season. You know, September. Today is actually Labor Day, September 1st, when I'm recording this. September is like the worst month for hurricane season in Florida. So I gotta trim those trees, keep them tight, get all the debris away. You're still gonna have a mess if we have one to clean up, but at least it's not as bad. But the primary thing is not to have stuff flying around that can hit your windows and break them, right? So, reports are that the real estate market in other areas of the country, predominantly the Northeast, who have continued to say that their prices have remained steady, are starting to see some cracks in the foundation, some slower sales, price reductions. Everything takes time, as I said, and you're going to start to see more and more of that. And I really kind of wonder what the future's going to bring. I mean, I don't have any confidence that the inflation is going to stop. I mean, really, they can say we have 2% inflation, but, you know, prices went up 40%. They're not going back. Unless the prices drop up 40%, it would be deflationary. We all have to live with the new norm, which is insane. Does mayonnaise really need to cost $9.50 a jar? I mean, that's just BS. I mean, somebody's making some money, because it can't cost that much to produce a jar of mayonnaise. I'm just so shocked when I go into Publix and I see that. I'm like, unless it's buy one, get one free, which brings it down to nearly $5 a jar, which is still high. But $10 for a package of bacon, I mean, it's laughable, but it's not. Housing is cyclical. It goes up and it goes down. Will it go down by 40% in the next 5 years? Will it? I mean, for the younger generation, I hope it does. For the young families out there that want to buy something, I hope it does. Because the you will own nothing and be happy, it's not going to make you happy. There's just a lot going on that indicates that statement is becoming true. I mean, isn't it? I mean, as absurd as that statement is, it is becoming true. But the part of it that isn't true is the happy part. You will own nothing. That's true. But you ain't gonna be happy. I think there will be some market manipulation when it comes to housing. Particularly now that a certain individual by the name of Lawrence Fink, he heads up Blackrock. That SOB is now the head of the World Economic Forum. They're those ESG loving, we want to own everything so you can rent from us and you can be on the hamster wheel to the day that you die. That is their business model. They want to see you. Oh, look who it is. That's unusual for him.
Yeah, he went after 2 dogs.
My little Truman apparently had a rough morning at the park, so I made my visit short. He'll get attention when I get home.
Where was I? Larry Fink. Yeah. I've got a video on that if you want to watch it on the World Economic Forum. You know, YouTube They don't like you talking about that. What they do is how do I say it? They suppress, that's the word, suppression. They suppress your video. I mean, if you come right out and say certain things, they'll just delete you. If they don't like the topic, they just don't show the video. It's gonna be really interesting to see the number of views I get on this video, because I just broke the rules for the YouTube gods. Normally, I'd say home prices are gonna come down. Normally, I'd say that. But when you have other factors, other variables, other entities pulling the strings in the background, especially when it comes to purchasing real estate, when you have investors come in and pay cash, swoop up all those foreclosures that are gonna be coming right out from under the noses of the people that would really benefit from them. A young family, maybe a retired person who needs an affordable house, you know? But one that makes me kind of angry. And hopefully they'll put in some safeguards, you know? At least with a Fannie Mae foreclosure. They're supposed to let only owner-occupants bid on the house first for like the first 2 weeks. I really just think they shouldn't allow investors, institutional investors, they shouldn't be allowed to buy those homes. You know what? Let the market do what the market's going to do. If that home sits there for 6 freaking months, so be it. You know, the bank will be forced to drop the price further, and a deserving family can buy it. That's what I think. We're in an ever-changing time. There are no norms. Normal market patterns are no longer reliable because we constantly are seeing patterns in the market, particularly the stock market, that are the opposite of what they should be. The stock market is not a reflection of our economy. It's not, because the economy is slowed tremendously. Job losses have gone up, and yet the stock market continues to go up. That's not normal. Nothing's normal. Which tells me, and should tell you, that nothing's trustworthy. So, we're on the brink of something happening. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. If you're a buyer, you gotta be patient. But you gotta be ready to strike if the opportunity comes, because the Blackrocks of the world will try to beat you to the punch. And they have cash. Cash is king. You know, if they would just make it illegal for institutional investors to buy these homes, I think it would serve the market well. If you got anything out of this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. If you're new here, well, hi, I'm Lisa. I'm a real estate broker. Just trying to retire. But I still like to have purpose, provide value, and do it all while I'm having just a little bit of fun. Take care.